And welcome back to another episode of Learning to Play Through Play. I'm Amoni Panala, and today we're going through the Enforcer missions, which actually are not really that much different from the Soldier of Fortune missions, so there's not much that I can show you that's going to be different, right? It's click, shoot the bad guy, blow up the bad guy, dock up, claim your rewards, hooray, right? I think the biggest difference here is that the enforcer missions give you ships, right, which is actually kind of a big deal, which is why the Eve University guide on doing the career missions strongly recommends that you focus on getting the exploration, then the enforcer, then the soldier of fortune, and then the industrialist uh, missions done. So, anyways, today what we're going to talk about is skills. I wanted to focus in on skills and some other things. I kind of breezed through skills just to show you, like, hey, you should always have your skill queue filled with things because you always want to be training. Now, that is absolutely true. As you'll see in the video, I have skills training, and I'm always training skills. In fact, I went in and added more skills. I don't remember if it actually made it into the footage that I include here or if that came after, but I'm always keeping skills in the queue. Now, here's the part that I wanted to pass along to you. What do you train, right? Now, in my previous video, I pointed you to the career path skill plans that CCP provides. And those are fine just to get started. It's okay if you don't have the most optimal skill plan. Don't stress about that. Like when you get further along, you're going to learn all kinds of unique ways to set up your skill plan and how to do those kinds of things. And we'll talk about that eventually. But for now, the Enforcer, Soldier of Fortune, Exploration, and Industrial skill plans that are provided by CCP are totally fine. That's a-okay. But there is something I want you to consider, and that is there are the ship and gun skills, which kind of get you into new ships and allow you to use new guns, right? And those are great, right? Everybody loves being able to fly a new ship or use new guns. But then there's also the support skills. And the support skills are actually sort of like the hidden reason why some players are going to do better than others. It's because if you don't train your support skills, you're going to have a bad time, right? And support skills range from things that allow your ship to fly better to things like I can fit more on my ship. I can put more on my ship because my fitting skills, right? The things that allow me to use more CPU, more power grid. We talked about fitting last time. More CPU and more power grid. I can put more on my ship because I have my support skills trained. I'm going to show you what support skills look like today. We're going to talk about some support skills. And actually, what I want to show you is something called the Magic 14. Now, as a new player, there can be a temptation to look at something like the Magic 14 and think that you have to train it all at once. Don't do this. You will make yourself miserable. The Magic 14 is a list of 14 skills that are beneficial for everyone, regardless of what you want to do in Eve. They are good for everyone to train. The problem is, they are not the kind of skills that as a new player you want to train to 5 right away, because they don't allow you to fly new ships, they don't allow you to use new guns. There's very little that's fun about actually doing the training for the Magic 14. No, these skills allow you to put more stuff in your ship, right? Increased CPU, increased power grid. They allow you to be able to fly better, right? Your flying becomes a lot more agile, a lot smoother. But these are very um, these are things that as a new player you're not going to notice the difference right away, right? So I'm going to show you the Magic 14 and where to find it so that when it comes time, you can start training them. Now, if you are looking for things to just throw in your queue and you're like, gosh, I've got some ships in my queue, I've got some gun skills in my queue. What else can I train? What else should I train? Make sure I'm training all the right things. Add some of the Magic 14, but only do it to like 3, maybe 4, right? Don't try to train them to 5. And I'll show you what I mean here. So let's take a look at the Magic 14, and I gotta say, this is something that like I learned because of Eve University. Eve University doesn't actually push the Magic 14 the way they used to, and that is because they have a whole training scheme called their short skill plan and the pyramid skill plan, which incorporates a lot of the skills from the Magic 14. We're just going to take a look here. So, like I said, Magic 14 is 14 skills that you can train, and the Eve University wiki page has all this information. I'm gonna share it on the screen and put a link to it in the description so that you can have it. It'll be in the class notes, all that good stuff. It'll be there, promise. The skills are CPU management, power grid management, capacitor management, capacitor systems operation, mechanics, hull upgrades, shield management, shield operation, long range targeting, signature analysis, navigation, evasive maneuvering, warp drive operation, and spaceship command. Now, if you are an alpha clone, like this character is, right? This character Shirazad, she's an alpha clone. There are limitations on how far you can train the Magic 14. Some of the skills are limited to 3, some skills are limited to 4, some skills you can train to 5. I would recommend that you train things to 3 or 4. And if you're an alpha clone, definitely train things at least to 3. I talked a bit about the difference between alpha and omega, but let's just cover it again real quick. Alpha clones, your training is going to take twice as long. Omega trains at a regular speed, and alpha clones train at half that speed. So everything takes twice as long to train at as an alpha clone. You are also limited as to how far you can train certain skills, and there are going to be a bunch of skills that are off limits. So now that we've gone over the alpha skills and the Magic 14, there are a bunch of other skills that you can train. And you might be wondering, okay, so where do I go? I've trained my Magic 14 to 3 or 4. Where else do I get training plans from? Where do I find things to train? Well, part of it is just like what you're interested in doing, right? What do you want to fly, right? What's fun for you? Are you into doing missions? Find some ships that you like to fly while doing missions. And there are some recommended ships that you can fly. We'll get into that. But the thing is, train into the ships that you like to fly and make sure that you're training the support skills along the way. And one other thing that you can do is you can go to a place like Eve University where they have their short skill plan and their pyramid skill plan, and you can follow that skill plan. Now, if you are eager to join a corporation, if you're eager to play with other people, get involved in a group, that is excellent. And I strongly recommend that you join a new player corp, or at least a corp that is new player friendly, right? A lot of corps will say, hey, we're new player friendly, I have linked some corps that I personally feel comfortable saying, yes, these people are about teaching new players how to play the game and get the most out of their play experience. I have put their names in the bio of the character I'm using for this learn to play. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. Eve University, Brave Newbies, Eve Rookies. It really depends on what you're interested in doing, and these are not all of the new player friendly corps, but these are the ones that I feel comfortable saying, hey, these are good people, and you will learn stuff from them. And each of them has their own skill plans. Almost every corp has their own skill plans, but Eve University, Brave Newbies, and Eve Rookies are going to have skill plans that you can follow to be able to do the things that you want to do better, right? So Eve University has the short skill plan and the pyramid skill plan. You can find that on the Eve Wiki that I linked, the Eve University Wiki. Um, Brave Newbies has a whole mess of skill plans for different types of ships and for different purposes. Um, Eve Rookies will have um, a bunch of different skill plans for getting into different kinds of ships. And if you haven't heard these names before, that's okay. Eve University, like it sounds, is all about teaching people how to play the game, right? They are extremely focused on that goal. They are the kind of corp that you join to learn how to play and you move on to another corp. And, that's what a lot of people do, right? So a lot of people have been in Eve University. They may have started there. It also is really good for returning players if you are coming back to the game and you want to know how you want to try to remember how to play. Eve University can help you there too. Brave Newbies. Now they're a big nullsec Sovnal corp. So if you have heard about the big space battles that happen in Eve Online, Brave Newbies is probably the place you want to go if you're thinking that you might want to get involved in that, because Brave Newbies is going to be a part of those big space battles. Eve Rookies is an incursions running community, and they are focused on teaching new players how to do incursions, also just kind of building community. They are part of the sort of Eve event runner community, right? They put on events both public and for their own community as well. So those are the ones that I'm going to recommend to you, and they are where you can go. So we've talked about skill plans. We've talked about Magic 14, which is not a skill plan. And we've talked about where to go, find more skill plans, get involved in the larger Eve community. This is an MMO, right? Massive multiplayer online game, and it really is meant to be played with other people. Of course, you can play by yourself. I'm not going to judge you if you do, but it was designed to be played with several people, right? With other people. The other thing I want to bring to your attention is that this game is a game of patience. So as you put skills in your skill queue, you are going to start to see the total training time go up. The more skills you add, the more it's going to inch closer to a few days, a few weeks, maybe even a month. But eventually you'll get to the point where your total skill queue training time is in years. Like you can put so many skills, you can put skills in there that take longer to train, and eventually you've got like over a year's worth of training in your skill queue. This is a game that rewards patience. This is a game that rewards you having a real life where you can put down this game and go do other things and not just sit and twiddle your thumbs waiting for something to happen. Now, if you are the type of person who sits down to the computer to play and you're not sure what to do, that's one thing. But this is not a game where you can make things happen faster, necessarily. There are some things that we'll talk about that can improve your skill training, how fast you train, and all that good stuff. But this is a game that rewards patience. There's a joke among EVE players that this game requires you to train patience to 5. So when you're just starting out, your skills will take a few minutes. Some of them will take a day or two, and that'll seem like a long time. And then you'll start getting skills that take a few days, maybe a week. The skills that I'm training on my main character, right? Not Shirazad, the one that you're seeing here, but the ones that I'm training on my main character. Some of those skills, just one skill will take a month to complete. So that's a long way in your future as a new player, but I just want to make you aware that this is not a game where you just rush through things. And so at the start, it doesn't matter what you train. Once you get further along, it will start to matter because it will take longer to train things. And if you spend a lot of time training the wrong things or things that don't matter to you, you might be frustrated because you are investing a lot of time into training skills. And that is a big part of what can get in the way of you being able to do the things that you want to do. That is pretty much all I have for you today. As always, you can support this channel by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and sharing videos that you like with your friends, videos that you think would be helpful for them. I have a whole backlog of videos and educational stuff. So if you're curious about a particular topic in EVE Online and you don't want to wait until I get to it in Learning Through Play episode, you can check the backlog where I do like a more traditional class format of teaching. But next time we will be covering exploration. We're gonna talk a little bit about making money, and especially as a new player, we're going to talk about making money as a new player because exploration is definitely one of the easiest ways to start making money as a new player. We'll get into it. It'll be a good time. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have questions, you can leave them as a comment on the video, and I will try to answer as many questions as I can. Can't promise to get to all of them, but I'll do what I can. Until next time, I wish you all nothing but the very best. Fly dangerously, folks.